Okay, so what I did before I signed off was I actually asked Claude Sonnet 4 to do something for me. I didn't ask it to do it. I asked it told me how I could implement this. And it's a pretty big task because I basically building in or requesting some building in a major component to my app. And as you can see, it came up with a lot of stuff. So now I'm going to implement what it says. Mostly, I got to go through and make sure it's, see what it's doing. But essentially, what the request was I have game player status, health conditions, whether they're fatigued or injured, uh, which could be just about anything, right? So what this what this is it's a system that allows for the players to get fatigue, get any kind of injuries. It tracks down how long they're injured. It tracks their currently status, not just injured for an entire game, but they could be injured for a play or 5 plays or a quarter or 2 quarters or whatever it is. And the game will keep track of where they're at and increment that injury time. Same goes for fatigue. As players earn fatigue, some players being more susceptible to fatigue than others may miss time, others maybe not so much, because some can recover fatigue while playing. It's all going to come down to what the player is set up to do. But it's an entire piece of the game that I wanted to get injected in, and because it's in-game health status versus just general health status. If they're injured in a game, there's a long-term status. It's like they can be out for a week or a month or 2 weeks or whatever it is. They can be more seriously hurt. And then there's certain statuses that come up that increase or decrease their chances of being able to play on any given week. So like they could become doubtful or questionable or probable or whatever. They have these different states based on their severity of injury. And that's all about playing in the game at all. But the in-game stat is about whether or not they're going to play in any given play. And so I needed to track that stuff, and I didn't have that in the game yet. So I figured, well, let's see how this Claude does at implementing this functionality into my code. So I had created a player status struct or type in my system, which keeps track of the game state ID. That's the play basically that's going on at that current moment in time. Who the player is, what their status is, whether they're fatigued, injured, out, or healthy. Out means they're done. They won't be playing anymore to this game. Injured means there's stuff going on, but they might be back. Fatigued means there's stuff going on and they will be back. They just need to recover a little bit, assuming, of course, there's enough time. The length of time that they're fatigued, well, fatigue has different levels of exhaustion that they can hit, and that's going to decide whether or not they get fatigued and get pulled out of the game, or they take time out of the game. Injury severity is whether or not it's a play, a quarter, a game, and the missed time counter is how much time they need. So that's going to keep reducing as each play goes on, based on, because for fatigue they can come back immediately after if that's what they're to do. But the missed time counter is all about injury, how long they're gonna be out. So some players have more time that they can be out than others. Okay, so that's what the whole premise is here. Okay, so I knew that was going to involve adding some new features, calls, things that need to happen into the proto files. And so the first thing I need to do is add these things, which it created. It created the message, and it probably has an RPC call in here somewhere too. Usually it does. Nope, guess not. We just have messages. Kind of surprised. I guess there's nothing for it to call. All right, so actually, nope, it's simulator proto. I'll create the necessary updates to track fatigue and players using the player status struct from types.go. Let's start with the proto file updates. Doesn't actually say which proto file that is, but I presume that that is going to be the same place where I created this. So why wouldn't it be the same one? So put the status at the bottom. Alrighty, and that's brand new stuff, so I'm not worried about what it's altering. It does kind of add the necessary extra comments to say what that means. Oh, it used snake case. Ah, dude. Dude. Oh, God. All right, I got to go. I got to fix this. There's a, this is just really annoying. Okay. Never use snake case FPFM Go MS project in proto files or any other. Use camel case in proto files only. Never use snake case in the FPFM Go MS project. In proto files or any other files. Use camel case in .proto files only. No, only in .proto files. In .proto files only use camel case. For all variables, enums, and messages. So I got to go through. I'm gonna have to make it rewrite it because I don't want to go back. I don't want to put a new request in just yet. I'll take it for now, but I have to rewrite it. Oh, I can't because all this stuff. Dang it. Because it's going to have camel case all over my code. It's going to be screwed up everywhere I go if I don't fix this. Stupid thing! Please correct the provided code. Never use snake case in my code. That sucks because I actually just got this going. I was just ready to start implementing everything. It doesn't. It's like, how did I miss that? Well, I think because I hadn't put it in there, but now it should be fixed. I mean, really, if it was smart, couldn't it just look at your code and go, oh, this is all camel case. I'm not going to write it. I mean, if you're in this and it can look at your code, you should look at the code and go, the, the standard here is camel case or Pascal case or what. Use the standard. Stop making up your own crap. I gotta fix this one too. I don't even know how that happened. I think. Oh, I can't do anything about these. This is named by the make gen that uses snake case. I can't do anything about these because they're created that way. But I can't. What is it? I was made this way or whatever. Lady Gaga. All right, let's try this again. So we'll go back to simulator.proto. And we'll go all the way back up to player status. Just that one. Try this again. Ah, nice, better. Okay. Much better. Okay. Wait, what? The client format? Oh, wait, what did I do? Oops, I took too much. Let's take out all this garbage. It's kind of weird because it didn't edit my page. It just added stuff. That also kind of irritates me. All right, so this is going to be game time player status.go. Hmm. Update fatigue. Update player fatigue status, which doesn't really seem to decrease the remaining plays for injured players and resets fatigue for players who have rested enough. Update fatigue active players. Update player fatigue status. Update fatigue for active players. Update fatigue for active players increases fatigue for players who participated in the play. It's weird. I think it missed one. It didn't update something. Because this should be updating this. Missed time counter. Oh, unless that's, is it setting that? Player fatigue status. Initialize status for each play. I don't think it did this correct. Because I don't think it's using this player fatigue status. 05 scale with 5 being completely exhausted. See, that's not a thing. And this is just like all bogus. Game time player status.go. In your code suggestion for game time player status.go, I can see your new code, but I don't see any in your code suggestion for game time. I can see your new code, but I don't see updates to what appears to be conflicting code, i.e. update player fatigue status doesn't use the same structs, same type objects as update fatigue for active players. And player fatigue status, which appears to be a deprecated type struct. Please point out what objects, types, functions, etc. are no longer needed with this new code. So far, Sonnet's not doing it. Claude 4, it still does a terrible job of looking at your code. It's like it writes the code for your changes, but it doesn't look at your existing code to know if something's not supposed to be there anymore, if it's no longer applicable. It just throws other crap in there. And just to be clear, I like it to tell me, okay, so we're not using this anymore. All right, so this is necessary, I'm pretty sure. Updated. Update player fatigue status. Now works with player status from types.co. Do we need both? It sounds like the exact same thing. Update fatigue, update fatigue. Okay, why do we need to update fatigue functions? One second. One second? Is that like wait 1 second like figuratively, or is that wait 1 second like you can go ahead and ask again? Okay, why do we need to update fatigue functions? Sheesh. I don't even know what the other options are. I'm not sure why. That's probably not even a good name. I'm probably going to have to change that because I think one is handling injury count and one handling fatigue, but that's not. Because like if a player status is not injured, it's not injured, and it's not out, it wouldn't be. If you're not injured or out, what is fatigued? Oh, it's setting their status. If player status fatigue level is greater than 50. I have to laugh because it's rarely ever gonna get that high. Only really out of shape people are ever gonna. I don't even know. It says 0 to 100. But what I'm actually thinking is it's going to be like 0 to 20. And I'll probably have to edit all this. I have it set to say 0 to 100, but I think it's going to be like 0 to 20, and you're fatigued if you're like 50%, maybe 10. You could be in bad shape. Some guys might be more. Some guys might actually get more fatigue counters is what it's going to be. So as soon as you hit a certain level of fatigue, your injuries chances go up. And then you have to have decisions as to whether or not you're pushing guys in fatigue to take the chances, because you got a higher chance of injury when you're fatigued. Now, some guys can't play that tired. You know, once you get to like 50% or some high level of injury, some guys may only get one counter, and it takes a really long time to get to that state. But your injury chances start going up the more tired you get. And also you get slower, and so you got to set them up to kind of stay fresh. But whatever. What else is this injured? Player was resting, decreased fatigue. That just means they didn't play. Handle fatigue updates. Player was active, increased fatigue. Calculate fatigue increase. That's right, because I have to put that logic in. Update all tracked players in one pass. Handle injury recovery first. See, this is like a function that shouldn't be. I mean, we're going to reduce or update or adjust. Update player status. Oh, okay, so it's not called fatigue status anymore. Okay. Which makes sense. It's just called update player status, which is fine. All right, so we'll go to the next thing. Now the next thing is calculate fatigue. Update player fatigue status, update fatigue for active player. Oh, I already did that. I already removed those. Okay, so we can put this function in. And we'll just throw that in here. All right, what else did you do? Still quite a bit of stuff. Gotta go all the way back up because it didn't really. So I got that, but fatigue status, fatigue for active player, calculate fatigue increase. Okay. Base fatigue for participating in a play. Adjust based on player fitness. Attributes, default fitness, replace with actual player fitness. If player.attributes, blah, 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 fitness, higher fitness means less fatigue. I mean, there is the option of just have them act at 100%, but then you're adjusting their percentage. Ugh, come on. Why does it do that? All right, we'll go here. We'll go ahead and put their logic in for now, or the AI's logic. I mean, it gives me something to work with, but I think it's skills. I have to figure out how do I get the other items out of this array? When I have a bunch of skills, how do I don't know. I'm gonna have to read how I feed that. Anyway, process player injury. All right, so we got this. And it's kind of, how is it written? Turn injury severity. All right, let's see here. Log, printf, player injured, out for blah plays. I don't know if I need this log. I mean, there might be a message that has to be returned. I could see returning it. But I don't even know why am I even changing this? 8 to 17 plays. No. Severity roll. Yeah, I gotta fix that too. It's like the severity of injury is definitely not can't available players for play. Oh, I already put that in, I think. That was the thing I did up here. Update player status after play, yeah. Update player status after quarter. Wait, did I already have it calculate fatigue? I feel like that's already in here. Oh. Cache active players by team. Yeah, available players for play. Is that a new function? Cache active players per team. Contacts the player service to get active players for team. Contacts player service to get active players for team. But it doesn't tell me. It like does stuff like this where it doesn't actually say what file it's changing. Which is really annoying because I don't know what I'm looking at. Update player status. That must be coming from the Finally, let's add service methods to handle player status operations. I don't know where it's adding those at. Service methods? To the service. Which service? Rungame.go. All right, let's go look at rungame.go. Get next play results. All right. So we got get next play result. Get current game session for request. It's not checking to see if it's a test, which of course we have to do because we do have test state. It's like, why did you stop checking for the test? Get game session by ID. trying to change the name because what? It just felt like it. It's like, hey, you like to change the name of things. I mean, I don't mind this because it is game session. The game session is the game, but two length game state not equal to or equals 0. No game state found in session. Store previous quarter to check for quarter changes. And I will need that. All right, so basically we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to still replace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we have to check the bottom part, which is doing some quarter test. And it looks like we might just be adding this in. I have a function for game state for quarter test. Completed game state quarter plus else. Save the updated game session with new game state in the database. Get next play response. Does the game session have... You would have to have an entire array of game states. Why? Get next play response. It has a last play game state. Why did it decide to rewrite it? I'm even setting all these game states, but it just decided to remove it for whatever bizarre reason. I'm setting game state, doing all this stuff with game state, and then it just says, you know what? Nah. We're not returning that. Okay. Okay, so the reason I don't want to send it back is a simple part of the array, because the game state is a pointer to the game states that are inside of the array, but it's an array of the game session will be returning all the game states because it has game states in it because it's connected to them. But the one I want is the last one, and I don't care about the ones before it right now. So clear player statuses. Clears the player status tracking at game end. The thing is about the clear game player statuses. So if they're out for at the end of the game, there has to be a test for injuries. So how long are they injured? So some guys are out for the game at the time, but see, it's like the NFL, like any league really. Somebody gets hurt, you don't know how serious it is until the next day or next couple of days, right? So you have to check their injury status. Usually they know by Monday. You know, they're like, oh, such and such who got hurt over the weekend is out for 3 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever, out for the season. They are put on injured reserve. Who knows? But so this is going to have to be a little bit more robust than that. I'm going to put this in. But we're going to do more with this. We're going to call it clear game player statuses. Clearing player statuses for players in any game. So any player that still has, okay. Any player that has, that was in it, that had a status of injured or out must be evaluated by the med staff. At the end of the game. So that means I think I have store some med staff. Determine player availability, determine availability by status, determine injury severity. Yeah, that's a function. It's got some code in there that I didn't create. It just decided to do that itself. Why would game player statuses be null? Because there's always going to be something. What's it called? Finally, let's add the service methods to handle player status operations. I don't know what that is, but that's not it's not going to help me any. To do check player statuses for out or injured at game end. Call determine injury severity and player service meds staff.go to calculate injury beyond game. All right, fine. Let's add the service method. The service method is. That's kind of let's swallow your tongue. All right, get player status. Return the current player statuses for a game. I don't have that. Finally, let's add the service methods. Let's add the service methods to handle player status operations. Convert internal player status to protobuf player status. Did I not create that yet? Get player statuses. Funk, 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 funk. Get game status, team ID. Deprecated. Deprecated. Use get player status response. Pro reflect instead. Okay. I know what that is. That needs to go away. Message, message, message. Get player. Oh, I do have get player statuses in here. Yeah, it's the same one. Get player. Ah, all right. And update player status. I feel like something's weird here. Hmm. So I'm using 4, and it gives you very limited calls, but if you don't keep them too close together, you should be okay. It's kind of where I'm at. It's kind of like if you don't keep them too close together. So I'm gonna do a quick image check because I have some and I haven't used them all today. So let's go to Chat GPT, and I'm going to add file, and we're gonna go over here, and just for clean. I don't know why I always go that way. It's not the best way to go. I want this guy. Can you give me this image without the background? Around the logo, without the background. Now, it's going to be interesting. I'm curious how this is going to work because it has flare or glowing effects around the ring and even around the top part of the border. So I'm curious what will happen if it dumps all that. Is it going to cut it all off, or is it going to leave a little bit of that glowy effect? I don't know. Is it smart enough to do that? Just leave the yellow speckles so no matter where it puts, it gets to be glowing on the background? That'd be cool. But it might not. It might just delete the entire glowy effect. I don't know. I'd kind of like, I kind of, in my head, I almost want the Z to be smaller and the F and the L to be bigger and wrap around and kind of curve around the football underneath them. I wonder how odd that would be. I wonder if I can describe that in a way that could get me a different look. I just want to see what it looks like, if it can do it. Let's see what this does first. This is one of my 3 freebie ChatGPT ones. You only get 3 from ChatGPT, but you get 6 from Sora. But these are what we'll call simple fixes. Okay, that might have actually removed. Yeah, that didn't quite do what I wanted it to. It did more than just remove the border. It took out the yellow line that went around the ring. Oh, and it also took out the center inside the ring. Dang, how do I do this? I guess I can remove the border. Let's try this again. Let's do one more. I want to try one more and see what it can do. So it's not particularly great at editing photos, I'm telling you. I've had this problem many times. It doesn't really matter what you do. I want this image with the exact same coloring but I want the football at the bottom enlarged. And the letters FCL to wrap around the football. How about the and the bottom and the bottom of the letters FCL to wrap around the football. This will make the Z smaller and the F and L a bit larger. And remove the color outside of the and remove the actually say, can you give me this image without the background on the outside of this logo? I want this image with the exact same coloring, but I want the football at the bottom enlarged and the bottom of the letters FCL to wrap around the football. This will make the Z smaller and the F and L a bit larger. And remove the border outside of the shield. So only the area inside the logo has any color at all. I'll give it another chance. Because if it could do that, make the football bigger, which just basically means it grows upward and squishes the Z, and the F and L will wrap a little bit around the ends. That's what I'm hoping for. But like I said, it's not the greatest at editing logos. And if you reference objects, it doesn't always identify them. I mean, even though you could say, I want a logo with a football and a ring in it, it'll put a football and a ring in there like this. But it can't identify them when you actually ask for it later. It's kind of weird. It does some cool stuff. It's really good at creating new images. It's not great at editing images. I've tried to get it. I don't know what tools are really good at editing images. I mean, I don't even know how I would do it with other tools. I mean, you could probably do some of that stuff with like, Photoshop or Corel Draw, but I do not know how to use them. I've tried to make things like that happen, and it's like, it's not easy, I'll tell you. So while this is making this image, let's go see what I got here. Update player status after play. Calculate fatigue. Process player injury. Get available players for play. Player status for quarter. Get player statuses. Cache active players by team. Get next player in depth chart. Clear game player statuses. is it? Where is it doing that at? Get player statuses. Restore fatigue from progress. Record fatigue, play progress. Ah. It's a long function, man. Well, it's down to 4. Fix some of it. Let's go see what this other thing is doing. Because it went beyond what I asked. It does that sometimes. Now let me update the necessary functions on the files. For runplay.go, update the call. Runplay.go, update the update player status after play function. Run play. Team ID, and then we have cache active players. Check if we need to fetch active players first. And then game state is nil. Just basically means it's not returning any errors. Still kind of missing things though. In run game, get play results. Get play results. Oh, get next play results. Get next play. Run game or run game.go. What is it talking about? There it is. Jeez. Okay, so game status quarter. We have the get game status quarter somewhere. Okay, so we got that, and then it's just gonna go down to completed update. This guy. That's it. We have a little if and then a big if, and that's it. If with an else. I don't know if that fixed anything. I mean, it kind of did, but we still got a lot of errors. Not as many errors, but alright, let's go see what my image did. made the Z. No. No, 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 no. It did not do. It made the football bigger, but it just pushed the FZL up. And it doesn't even look as good. It's still funky. Should I try Sora? Can Sora get this figured out? I don't think Sora can do this any better than... I mean, they're the same thing, but the really only difference is I'm going to get 4 options. Oh, that is weird. How did they do that? I guess you have to know what it's called, but you can see the depth in it. It's kind of cool. Oh, this one doesn't have my last logo attempt. I can never remember what item has my last attempt. Can you put the first image logo on a gold trophy that says championship on the bottom, or says championship under the logo? And has a football passing through has a football passing upward through one ring with some amount of flames coming off back of the football to appear it is flying fast. The ring would be just large enough for the football to pass through. I know I always have to overcomplicate it. What is she lying on? Is she lying on like a robot? A robot suit of some kind? Is she like, is that like a mech? A mech of some kind? Is she like a character from Mech? Her rabbit is upside down. I wonder if anybody knows that. I mean, from this angle, it's upside up, but when she stands up, it's upside down. That kind of reminds me of the character that Wolverine fought in one of the Wolverine movies, where who was a Silver Samurai, but this one's kind of a diamond version of Silver Samurai. I said passing upward. They did not put the whole logo. Why? Dang it. That is not better. That is not better at all. Alright. Can you put the first image logo? Can you I don't think it's possible. These are terrible. These are like worse. These are the worst. They're like the absolute worst. These are like terrible. Can you put this? It's like they can't even see this logo. I don't know. Can you put the exact same logo from the first image? Exact same logo from the first image on a gold trophy that says championship under the logo. And as a football passing upward, I said upward. What part of upward does it not? Okay. Passing upward through the one ring. All right, so we're going to take this off. I don't need the flames. Forget that. The trophy should be tall and have the trophy should be tall and have the same logo from the first image on a gold trophy on the base of a gold trophy that says the trophy should be tall and the base should be wider than the logo. Do not final image should have no background. I don't know if it's going to be any better. Some of these are not the worst, but no, they're all terrible. They're all, I say exact same logo. What part of exact same logo does it not get? Exact same logo. It's like trying to blend the logo. I mean, it kind of does blend the logo here. It's putting the ring from the logo. Like the logo is the trophy, but that's not what I'm shooting for. I don't want the logo to be the trophy. Ugh. All right, so we're still missing some stuff. What is the problem here? Clear game statuses. All right, Control F. Where is that at? That's what I thought. That kind of fixed part of that problem. I don't know if it ever fixed my get game by ID. I don't know whatever reason it had to change this. I'm not sure I'm thrilled by it. But it did do something. None of them. It basically created the same thing. It put a ring around my football. But it didn't create the image. These are all identical. It didn't put this it didn't put the same logo. Why can't it do this? Why can it only get part of this? Why doesn't it not want to put the ring in? I just want it to have the ring at the top. That's all. I mean, it's so easy. It's so frustrating. Why can't it do that? It's like it does the whole logo except it refuses to put the ring on the logo. All right, I give up. All right, let's try one more thing. The last thing I want to try before I give up on this nonsense. It can't do the trophy. I don't know. It just refuses to put that on a gold trophy. The other option is to try to get a 3D version of this logo. Try to turn it into a 3D version with no background. I don't know if I can do that, but we're going to try this. Can you give me a 3D / relief version of this exact same logo with no background? I say exact. It doesn't know what exact same means. It means don't change it. Just pop the lines. Problem is, it really can't. I think the problem is it can't. It doesn't work with an image, so it can't unless it can visually represent. Because it can't see the image. It doesn't know what it's creating. So it's like all it sees is bits and zeros, right? So it's copying it bits and zeros, ones and zeros. So it's looking at all these ones and zeros, and it kind of can interpret what it theoretically looks like, but it really doesn't know what it looks like. And therefore, to say, oh yeah, I'll give you a relief version of this, it's not necessarily going to be that great. So my other option is to try to remove the border, take it to a 3D modeling tool and see if I can get it to do it. But not very many tools let you do anything like Maximo and those other ones. They only do... There was a tool I saw yesterday, but that one doesn't let you do it either for free. There's not even a trial option to put an object in and get a 3D version of it. Yeah, that one has a ring on it at least. That's something. Oh, these aren't too bad. These are actually kind of cool. No, those are actually kind of decent. I'm not terribly fond of the stripe on the football because that's not a professional football, but that's all right. We can work with it. I like this. I think I like this one best. Then we'll go back over to here. Basically, I'm just creating assets. That's really all I'm doing. When I do these images, I'm just throwing stuff into my toy chest that I can use for the game. Now, if I had this, I wonder if I could just, oh, you know what? Let's try that. Open with this. It's probably not going to work because for one, this is gold and that's more of a bronze, but and then we will open, go here, here, drag this in over here. Then we go here. The only problem is that that shield is so close to the top that I could make this big enough to cover it. I wish it was the same shade of gold. No. Maybe I don't like it. I like the bronze. I like this. I like this. I like the trophy, but the trophy just doesn't look right with a partial logo, so I don't know. Oh well. Let's see, there is one more thing I wanted to try. Let's go to my media. I think I might have 1, 2, 3. Was that today or yesterday? That might have been yesterday. It might have been today. 4, 5. I like, see, this is the coloring. This is the kind of guy I wanted. But then as you ask for more, it keeps turning him more and more towards real. And I don't want that. This one's probably the best. Because they have the best tail. Can you turn down the color depth on this for more cartoon color? Deep film noir style shadows. Now the only real drawback is it. Look at that. His whistle doesn't have a rope on both sides. All right. What is the problem with runplay.co? It's not gamestate.game.id. Oh, it's this little d. Well, that was an easy one. Okay, I thought. Wait, what? Oh, wait. It's probably little I, not little d. No, that's not right. Little I, little d. Or not. What the heck? But it does have a big I, little d. That's what I did. Now what's your problem? Operation cannot indirect game set ID, variable of type string. Wait, what? What, game state ID is not a string? Game state ID is a string, is it? Okay, that's fixed. So we're slowly working our way back through this thing. Now, what's the problem with this? Cannot use log entry route action result. String value and argument to blah, 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 the compiler. I don't even know what that is. What the heck is this word? Scans the argument string, storing successive space dash separated values into successive arguments as determined by the format. It returns a number of items successively parsed. New lines in the input must match new lines in the format. That is weird. None of this is a thing. Route action result? That's not even a... What the heck function is this? Restore fatigue from player progress log. I don't think this is a function we're using. I don't know what this is, but that's not... I think that's the problem with that, is it's not supposed to exist. I don't think that's supposed to be a thing. That's the old thing. This one's also using weird fatigue status. Route action results. I don't have... Oh, I do have player. But that's not a route action. What is this? Record fatigue in player progress log. No, it's not where we record fatigue. Alright, so I think that's why it didn't fix these, because it didn't know... It doesn't... It's not smart enough to deprecate. Alright. It's a little more cartoony. I don't know if I like it. What do I not like about it? What's wrong with this image? think there's not enough contrast. I think that's the problem. Can you give him a brighter white brighter referee jersey? And blacker hat, blacker cap, and blacker cap, belt and wrist bands. And darken the what are they? The black, darker the lines, darken all the shadows and outlines to give it a deeper shadows. We'll just darken the shadows, all the shadows and outlines. Oops, hit enter instead of up. Oh, suck. Okay. Whatever. What do we do? All right, so now what's the problem? Clarity. Declare not used. What? Update player status after court. Guess we can just do this if we're not using it. Alright, so we fixed that one. Runplay.go. Log play result. Record player fatigue status in the play progress log. No, we don't need to do that. Play progress log does not use those values. Now, let's go back to 3.7 for a minute, so I don't have to fiddle faddle with that. All right, so we're gonna go. Oh, it's 9:45. All right. You created. You changed get game by ID to get game session by ID, but did not update the get game by ID to Thing is, I have specifically in my code, do not change the names of methods and functions unless it's absolutely necessary. But what did it do? Change the name of the function. And I even have that in the instructions. I mean, I don't care if it changes it back or what it's going to do, but wait, what? Looking at the what are we changing here? In rungame.go. All right, that's a little better. That's more the depth I was looking for. Cartoon coloring, perfect. Got the dark, the depth, nicer lines. Things are a little bit more bold and bright. This one's probably the best one. Yeah, yeah, I like it. That's way better. Fits my motif, coloring motif better. Really gave him good fingers. He's got solid fingers. He's still only got 3 fingers, but 3 fingers and a thumb. He's got too many segments in his fingers, though. These snakes get extra segments. Unless there's only 3 segments in my fingers. This guy's got 4 segments in his fingers. You know, whatever. They're really long segmented fingers. Some bonus segments. I don't think there's anything else to do with that. This one's like, oh, I removed the background on that one and wiped out his back of his head. That one did too. So this is definitely the best one. That one at least kept his he's gonna, the whole field can be seen behind him. This one isn't terrible, it's just kind of like too yellow. Not snaky enough for me. Alright. So are you done? Fixed call. Get game session ID with correct parameters. We should also ensure the function is properly defined in store interface. Alright, so we're going to go to the store. Get pretty sure that this is going to replace the one above it. It's the exact same. And I don't know why it changed it, to be honest. But it does like to do that. Run game. Why is it? Oh. What the heck is it? What is this? Tests are broken, but that's all right. I gotta fix those in a minute. Test. So the only thing that's off right now is my runtime actions and route actions, which are probably all referencing some bizarre thing. So these ones are broken for different reasons. These are because it needs to use the same. Well, for one, it's got to be calling the same thing, so it should look a lot like these. So I don't have as many. And I have to go, these are all going to be probably, I either have to disable them or do something with them. I don't even know why it's throw ball. Why is throw ball a runtime action? I mean, he's got a purpose to pass, but he's got to find a chance to pass. He may not succeed at passing, but it's not, passing is not, that's an actual defined action. So that's not even a thing. It's not a runtime action. That's a regular route action, which is in the other call. Catch ball. that might be a runtime action. Because you don't assign, you assign a pass, which just means telling the quarterback, do what you got to do to get a pass off. And he may never pass it because that pass can do a number of things. There could be a lot of things that go on in the pass action. Until he throws the ball, though, it's accepted. Now, the catch ball, however, is a runtime action. Oops. Uh-huh. Is interception a runtime action? Yeah, I suppose it's not really a... All right. Oops. I don't know, my throat feels weird. All right. That cleans up a lot of stuff. Not 100%, but we're better. Did manage to destroy my parentheses here, though. What is the problem with this text? How are these defined? Oh, they're all kind of doing the same thing. I guess I didn't realize it updated those. So what this is expecting is a progress log entry. So I gotta go to definition. Well, that's probably fine. But it means every one of these needs to have a progress log entry passed to them. And then we need to define the parts. All right, let's go to agent here. Actions.go and runtime actions.go are now both using the new play progress log.add entry. which expects a play progress log entry object. So I need you to update all the functions to accept a play progress entry object and set the play action type and play action result according to the current placeholder values. Team player will already be set by the calling function. What is point? Oh. So only target point should still be included in the function call. Let's see, target point. And target player should still be included in the function call. Should be acted upon when implementing these functions. Did I ask for anything else from ChatGPT? Nope, I did not. Okay, so I better check, make sure I kept this one. I think I did, but this one has a brighter one, so I'm thinking I might have went with that one accidentally. So let's download that one too. It's probably already the same one. Nope, I kept that one. I would like this to be wider stripes, but I don't know if I have any more requests, to be honest. It did go better. I mean, this is much, much better. I actually like this jersey better, to be honest. This is a better jersey, but it did all kinds of weird stuff wiping out his background. And this one has put this, the jersey stripes are gone. It's planning. It's planning its attack. I think I'm out of time, guys. It's time for me to hit the hay and return to this tomorrow. So, I know I haven't gotten around to getting my sim fully functional, but the thing is, I'm implementing bits and parts that are going to be very crucial to the upcoming applications. So, as I get this stuff cleaned up, each time I do something, I'm ironing out the parts. I have to still go through every one of these functions and make it do stuff. But I'm hoping to get these in the process of cleaning up the bugs that are being created by creating new methods and functions that are actually fully defined. As I define more and more parts, they have to be more precisely integrated to their other functions. So all these are placeholder functions, but they have to be able to function with the pieces that we've created. So this is going to be a lot more functional for me in the long term. Then hopefully I can get my dummy record back. The thing is too, when I created the dummy record, a lot of it exposed a lot of not ready parts. So I had to fix the bugs and fix the not ready parts, and hopefully once I get to get those all ironed out, I should be able to call my dummy records, get them into the front end, see what they look like at least, and then see if I can get it to make my guys move. Right now my guys are all just sitting on the field, right? They just have a bunch. Now, one of the things I think I'm going to end up doing is I have to define in my code how best to identify the players. Now, on the field, you only have two teams. You have the home team and the visiting team. And ultimately, I think I just need to have 11 players for each team. And it'll probably just be player 1 through 11. I might even just do something like player 1 through 12 or something. 1 through 13, 14, I don't know. Just so that I have a couple of players that can look like they're running on and off the field. So whenever we do substitutions or something, I can have like 3 guys run onto the field, and it'll be the 3, or whenever guys go off field, we can have a couple of guys run back on. If they're basically, it'll be one of those player 1 through 11, and then sideline 1, sideline 2, sideline 3, and I don't even know how that works, because if I do 1 through 11, that means everybody's got to be defined. See, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm trying to figure out how I can make it look like substitutions are being made. So if a play asks for guys that aren't on the field, on the field, somebody has to go off. And I guess I could just have guys run off and immediately have a new one run back on. But that takes time. It's not really how it would work. So I'd have to have like some kind of simultaneous objects. What happens when I have to do something like substitute for like a kick and I have like 5 guys that run off and 5 guys that run on? Or even, would it ever replace the entire team? I mean, I guess defense can run back on. That's like the entire offense and the defense are swapping. Now I could take that out, but the more you don't have in the game for visual aspects, the more the game looks is less interesting to watch. Having more going on makes the game feel realer. And that's what I'm going for, that the realness of the game, to make it look like a game is actually being played by the guys on the field. You don't just have people just appearing in places and just doing stuff and it's just always right. And it could look good and it's kind of quick, but at the same time, it's not going to be as visually appealing to keep it going. All right, so we got route actions. It did all of the ones. I don't know what else it needs, but fix that one. But it says runtime actions is fixed, but route actions is still not completely fixed. Anyway, 10:13, man. Tomorrow's Friday. It would be an awesome, sweet, great thing to be able to get my simulation to put my guys in a huddle, but I haven't even got my guys moving yet. So, but it'd be cool if I can get them to go run out, get in a huddle. That's all I want. Run out, get in a huddle, and then it should call once it pulls everybody into a huddle. It should call the dummy play, which should have information, at least move some guys to the line of scrimmage. That's what I want. It's going to have some guys come in and put them on the line of scrimmage, probably 3 or 2 or 1, just so I know that it's working. And then I can go, oh, well, we got a few guys there, so now we can maybe put in the calls that would put the other 22 guys on the field. Now, I'm trying to figure out if there's a way. I mean, ultimately, I'd like to just have them read. I'd just like to update the code to read a play, so that if I give it a play, it can just read the play and send back the positions of all the players, because creating dummy data for that is kind of lame. I have plays that tell you what to do, and creating a dummy play is long. It's got 22 lines of code entry just to put people on the line of scrimmage. And I'm like, do I really want that? So it might just be easier to try to write, well, not easier, but might be better. Because if I'm just reading a play, then that's what I got. I got a play. So I can have the dummy code actually, instead of the dummy part is it skips calling for a play from the game plan. But yeah, let's work on that tomorrow.